Hello, friends. My name is Jimbo Ivy, and on behalf of the City of Corvallis Parks and Recreation Department, I'd like to welcome you to the virtual cornucopia of Zoom entertainment that we loosely refer to as Quarantainment at the Majestic Theater. Whether you're here for Majestic Peace Theater, Friday Night Funny, or our Sunday Playwriting Showcase, I'd like to thank you for helping keep our performers, writers, and technicians engaged with your patronage of these free performances. Since the pandemic began, we've had dozens of these performances, and they represent hundreds of hours of work by hundreds of volunteers and staff in very challenging circumstances. A pandemic, a racial justice revolution, conflagrations, a seemingly endless string of tragedies, and yet they come back every week to bring their passions to our community. Why? Because they are majestic. And so are you. And we need your help to keep the show going during this bizarre year of 2020. In order for the Majestic to keep arts and culture alive in our community, we need you. We need you to keep coming to our free shows, but also we need you to buy tickets to our live-streamed paid performances. We have such shows planned for every month through the end of our season, but without your support, we won't be able to make them or continue to support our free content. With our Pick What You Pay model, you can pay as little as $10 to see them, or if you can, pay as much as you like. We need you to share with your friends and family how much you enjoy these shows and encourage them to catch the next performance and the one after that. And for those of you that are able, please consider donating to the Majestic now or during our holiday donation drive. Because of reduced revenues, we have cut our staffing and spending to the bone, but we still have a donation goal of $100,000 to hit this year to make it. So, if you can give, please give. We have struggled before at the Majestic, as all arts venues do, but now is the time, my friends. Now is when we need you the most. And we'll make it. Why? Because we, all of us together, are majestic.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Funny's Hanukkah, a festival of laughs. I'm Naomi Fitter, your host for the evening.
Woo!
And, oh, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Tonight, which is the second night of Hanukkah, we have gathered here tonight some of my favorite people from the local comedy scene and beyond. And we have a wonderful live studio audience who you've already heard. You want to make some noise?
Yeah.
That's me. I said.
Very impressive. So exciting to be here with all of you in Hanukkah. I grew up in Appalachia, so it's true. My dad doesn't know where I grew up. I grew up in Appalachia, so at this point, most people I graduated with have more kids than teeth. It's not a Jew plentiful area, and once while in town, I tried using J-Swipe. That's like the Jewish Tinder to look for romance, and my nearest match was 683 miles away. Retrospectively, it could have been me, or it could have been the landscape. But we were obviously the only Jewish family in my town, although after that I lived in Philadelphia and then in Los Angeles, so kind of bigger Jewish hubs. And now I'm here in Corvallis, Oregon, which has a single synagogue for the entirety of the Willamette Valley area. So back to kind of the scenery that I'm used to, back to what I'm comfortable with. But I know there are some of us Jewish kids around, so I thought it would be fun to put on this Hanukkah show and entertain the nice little Jewish kids of Oregon. So here we go. Here we are.
Woo!
Thank you all for being here.
Yay. Yay, Jewish.
So my mom converted to Judaism while she was pregnant with me. And I think if she had been a full-blooded, natural-born Jew, that I would be louder.
Probably. Probably.
In junior high, I was the president of a Jewish youth group, Kadima, until they impeached me for being inaudible. I was dumbfounded when this happened. I truly had no words. I had always thought I was a sound leader. It turned out that they could hear my gavel, they just couldn't hear me. One of my greatest wishes in life is to be able to successfully place an order at a New York deli. One of my greatest wishes. I'd like a Reuben, please. What? I have no chance, but I'll keep training. My dad will teach me. He's from New York. Since my mom converted too, I missed out on some of the standard Jewish mother experiences. So I find myself having to practice for when I have kids. I chase my friends around saying, "You're too skinny. You need to eat." I'm always trying to set up my brother with someone to marry. And I keep telling my parents they need to call more.
Funny.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Classic Jewish tropes. Another Jewish trope is that we are very tuneful and synchronous singers. If you've been to a synagogue, you know this to be false. But to demonstrate that now, I thought I would invite everyone to join in the lighting of the menorah.
Yay!
So we can all join together in tuneful singing and light the menorah.
Ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ready?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu b'chagim shel Hannukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שעשה למלאכתנו בימים ההם אז מה נעשה?
Presents.
So beautiful.
Mommy
So
says presents.
beautiful and synchronous. Yeah, at the end we always say loudly presents to celebrate the true meaning of the holiday. Thank you, Hanukkah menorah lighter, for lighting the candles for us. Ooh, so yes, you can experience that type of sonorous, beautiful singing any synagogue, anytime. Just pay a visit. Happy Hanukkah. Holiday times, well, you know by now that my whole family is here in the studio audience, but holiday times are often a family time anyway. And I wrote my first joke with my family when I was 3 years old. It involved the unleavened bread that Jewish people eat on Passover, another Jewish holiday, and here is this marvelous, beautifully crafted joke. What kind of cheese is matzah made of?
What?
Mozzarella. And my parents' response was, "Oh no, honey, matzah isn't made of cheese." And it took me 20 years to get back into comedy after that. They really didn't know how to groom a young comedic mind. I'm also a second generation Jewish American. My grandfather escaped from Europe in the 1920s with his nuclear family. And when I was about 10, I got really into learning about my ancestry, only we didn't have 23andMe yet, so I had to just study Holocaust records. It's true, my parents can attest. But you'll never believe this, what I figured out from that. I figured out I'm half German and half Austrian. That's so true.
That's
Yes.
true.
I can't wait to use what I've learned to go back to the fatherland to visit the family mass grave.
Whoa.
It's kind of a dark joke, except for my dad's nuclear family, though. We did not have any folks survive the Holocaust.
No. Nope.
So please don't be a white supremacist, anyone out there watching.
I agree.
In lighter news, I like my first name Naomi a lot. In Hebrew, it means pleasant, and in Japanese, it means above all beauty. You can probably tell that I was named for the Hebrew.
Aw.
You're
Oh,
beautiful.
you think I'm beautiful?
Both.
I do.
Thank you.
I love my daughter.
My parents will only heckle during my set. My last name, Fitter, also has special significance. It means your grandparents didn't enunciate when they came through Ellis Island. It's a made-up name, and this next act coming up to the stage, his last name may be made up, or maybe it's not. He can tell us all about it. It's a Eugene-based comedian, and in Oregon's Jew light landscape, I love performing with him because usually he's the only one in the audience laughing at my jokes about the Jewish experience. So please help me welcome to the virtual stage the very funny David Ledbetter.
Woo!
Hello, everybody. This is, I'm going to come right out and say it first off. This is incredibly strange and feels very weird to be standing in my room and yelling at my computer. I'm a teacher, so I'm kind of used to it, but usually it's just angry. It's angrier than what I'm doing now. No, I didn't realize, so Naomi made a joke about J-Swipe, and I got that confused with J-Date. I don't know if you know so J-Swipe is sort of Tinder, and J-Date is like a Christian mingle. So now that I know that J-Swipe exists, I know what I'm doing with the rest of my evening, so thank you. That's fantastic news because, oh my God. Yeah, no, it was just 3 very, very angry Orthodox women who were 200 miles away. And there's nothing wrong with being Orthodox. It's just that Orthodox people think that there's something wrong with being me. And that's, you know what? That's fine. I didn't want to impress you anyway. I'm not hurt. It's fine. So this is I'm really happy to be around other Jewish people. It's very nice, just for the sense of community. Also because I know that I'm not going to be asked a bunch of weird questions about being Jewish. I'm sure every Jew in the audience can relate with when they find out you're Jewish. It's always like, oh, you're Jewish? They're always like a weird half squat. Like they've just found like a weird squirrel that they want to like investigate. They're like, oh, what does that feel like? I don't know. What does it feel like to make people uncomfortable all the time? Jenny. My cousin Jenny. I don't know. She wasn't born Jewish. I don't know how it happened. Oh, yeah, no, it's really, really enjoying doing comedy. You can tell it's been a while. This is my first real Hanukkah celebration. I haven't been very devout most of my life. This year has made me more devout because if you needed further proof that the Old Testament God exists and that he's pissed, then look no further than this year. Did not do the lamb's blood in time. So it is really nice, though. This is a weird year to become more devout, though. It's like if Moses considered himself spiritual until it started raining frogs. I also feel like comparing myself to Moses is a pretty weird way to kick off a Hanukkah show, but I decided I'm just gonna do it. So I'm gonna defy expectations by I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but there's sort of like a pandemic kind of thing happening. And some protests and stuff, and I'm going to defy everyone's expectations by making jokes about it. So when the pandemic started, it was I had convinced myself that it was, oh, I'm going to stay home and I'm going to have all this time for self-reflection and I'm going to come out and I'm going to be a better me. I'm going to get like wicked strong and I'm going to meditate. I'm going to basically come out and just be Mr. Miyagi. That's apparently the body shape that I idolize, which really says a lot about my self-esteem. So as you can see, that didn't happen. And to the point where, spending that much time alone, by the time the protest started and someone was like, hey, if you go outside right now, a man dressed like Master Chief will shoot poison gas at you. I was like, hell yes, sign me up. Anything other than spending another minute alone with this guy. Cannot do it anymore. Rather just have some LARPers shoot at me. So everyone's talking a lot about how 2020 is terrible, and it definitely is. And then everyone's saying like, oh, I wish we could go back to 2019. I really wish I could enjoy what I had, and that's depressing. And also, 2019 was kind of wasn't great either for me, at least. 2019, I found out that I had a tumor. I woke up in the morning and I yawned and I stretched. And I looked, and there was just sort of like a fist-sized thing poking out of my armpit. And so I immediately called the doctor, and I told them, I have this weird lump in my armpit, and they said, oh, is it like a tennis ball, or is it like a ping pong ball, or is it like a softball? Which piece of sports equipment that you're shamefully unfamiliar with does it most resemble to you? And I said, I don't know. It's like a Satsuma or like a tangerine, like a Tangelo. Because I might not have played sports in high school, but my parents did have a Costco membership, so I have an encyclopedic knowledge of very similar citrus fruit. So I've got that going for me. So they were like, "This bit sucks. You probably shouldn't use it on stage." And so I just came into the doctor, and I talked to the nurse. You make the weird small talk. It's so weird to go to the doctor and know that you're gonna have to like take your clothes off because you're just like waiting for that moment. And you're like, if I start taking my shirt off now, it's gonna be really weird. And so I'm sitting there having this conversation, and then eventually she goes, "All right, let's see it," which is really great bedside manner. Sounds like I'm in a truck stop bathroom. And she goes, "All right, let's see it." And so I take off my shirt and I lift my arm up, and she goes, "Whoa!" Which is not something that I from a healthcare professional. And for the rest of the conversation, she just the look that she gave me was like the way that someone looks at like a dog that's like going to be put down soon. They're just like, "Oh, it's the half squat again. Oh, buddy. Oh, let's just feed him hamburgers and chocolate. He loves them so much, and he doesn't have much time left." And so I'm still alive. For those of you that are, I'm starting to lose. I'm okay. So she hands me a business card for an oncological surgeon and refuses to make eye contact with me. And so I go to the surgeon's office. And he goes, "All right, let's see it." So that happens again. And so I lay on the weird paper on the table, and I just lift my armpit up, and I'm just like, you ever notice, I mean, does anyone else suck in their gut when they go to the doctor, like they're trying to impress the doctor's not going to be like, "Hey, what are you doing later? I just palpated your tumor, but I'm pretty into it." That's not a relationship starter. That's not how you want that to happen. Mm-hmm. So I went to the surgeon, and he starts just sort of grabbing and prodding, and the only words this man said to me the entire time were, "All right, let's see it." And and he just keeps grabbing and prodding, and he goes, "Oh, okay," and then he just leaves for 5 minutes, and I'm just sitting there like, "Can I put my shirt on? This feels weird?" And then. To my relief and then subsequent horror, he came back with 5 med students, and he went, "Hey, feel this." My newfound tumor. And all of these students, who, by the way, were all of the most attractive people I've ever seen in my life, were just lined up in a single file like kindergartners on a field trip, and just took turns just grabbing at my stuff and excitedly going, "I know what that is," and not telling me. And so they played a fun little game show with my armpit grapefruit, and by the time they were done, so they all finish up, and he goes, "Okay, do you guys have it? You guys ready for me to reveal what it is?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he just doesn't even look at me. He in fact, he leans back on me as he's talking. He's like, just right on my beer gut, and he's just leaning as he's talking to the med students. It's like a mechanic leaning on a car. And he says, "Oh yeah, it's not cancerous," which is cool. I had to wait 45 minutes being to hear that message. So eventually he says, "Yeah, it's not cancerous. It's totally harmless. We're going to remove it. It'll be great." So I schedule a surgery. I go into the surgery, and I'm not sure if any of you guys have ever been put under before, but the way it works is you put on a paper dress, and then you conceptualize your own mortality. And then which is worse when it's happening in a paper dress. It's a lot easier to conceptualize your own mortality when you have pants on. Just a fun fact. And so you do that, conceptualize your own mortality, and then you walk into another room, and then you get higher than you've ever been in your life. So suddenly, I actually, when they started to put me under, they didn't tell me that they were about to knock me unconscious, which I feel like it's just common courtesy to warn someone before you give them crazy drugs. And so he goes, "Yeah, this might feel weird," and then turns on whatever the drugs. It wasn't a big lever that he flipped, but it felt like it. I was pretty high. And so he flips the big Frankenstein lever, and he goes, "Yeah, this is going to feel pretty weird." And then they all start talking amongst themselves, and I had to let them know in my new drug-addled brain. I was like, you guys. And they're like, "What?" And I was like, "I feel pretty weird." And that was the last thing I remember. Pretty much of that day. I had to get the play-by-play from my roommate, who picked me up later that afternoon, that apparently I was trying to flirt with the nurse after I woke up. And by flirt with the nurse, I said, this is the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. I said, "Hey, I'm a stand-up comedian." It gets worse, because then I forgot that I had just said that, and so I said, "Hey, I'm a stand-up comedian." I did that maybe 7 times. She did not find it funny any of the times. And then the last thing I remember of that day was laughing into a bowl of matzo soup as I just slowly lost consciousness again. So after that happened, I woke up the next day and I was like, "Wait, I forget. Where did we land on whether or not I have cancer?" So I called the doctor. He let me know, and I'll leave you with this. I'm sorry, it's a little gross, but I called the doctor, and he said, "Yeah, we didn't remove it." And I said, "Oh, you couldn't remove it?" He said, "Hold on, I could have removed it if I wanted to. I didn't, because I didn't want to." Such a weird jock energy to come at me with, "Do I have cancer or not, sir? This is the 4th time I've had to ask you." And he said, "Do you have a cat?" He's just allergic to answering questions. And I said, "Yeah, why?" And he said, "Yeah, well, you've got toxoplasmosis. It looks like you sustained some sort of puncture wound to your lymph node that injected toxoplasmosis directly into your lymph node." Oh my God. What I'm saying is that my cat gave me a poop tumor, and I have to look at his smug little face every day. I feel like he knows he did it. He's like, "I'll do it again." The other day, I woke up and my left armpit hurt, and I was like, "I swear to God, I will throw you out the window." All right, with that, thank you guys so much. Happy Hanukkah, and we've got great other people that aren't me that are going to talk now.
David, everybody.
Funny.
He's available. He's coming to J-Swipe tonight, and I bet I'm not the only one who hopes he calls his next comedy album My Armpit Grapefruit. That is a tight name. You may have noticed maybe not from the framing. I'm wearing a festive Star Wars
Yay.
shirt. It's not It is great. It's not remarkably Hanukkah though, and as I shopped for it, there were some other excellent options. So I'll show you some modern, cheeky Hanukkah attire as we go through the show. This one says, "Let's get lit," and features a menorah. And this next act coming to the stage will keep this awesome lineup moving right along. Is a comedian and poet based in Los Angeles. You might recognize him from previous shows, but what you don't know yet is that he's also an illustrious cook. So joining us for a segment on Hanukkah cuisine, here is Max Kerwien.
Thank you guys so much. Wow, David, that was a hell of a story about your poop tumor. Anyway, who's hungry? Let's get to making some latkes, shall we? So I am making some latkes tonight. Let me pin my screen real quick so I can see what's happening. Okay. So I'm making latkes tonight, and I usually they're made with potatoes because potatoes are fried are the best thing on earth. But I can't eat potatoes because I have a bad digestive system. And what's more Jewish than a bad digestive system, right? I'm making zucchini and carrot latkes tonight, and they're pretty easy to make. There's only one extra step. And yeah, let's go through it. You know how a cooking demonstration works. I don't need to tell you what happens. I'm supposed trying to make this thing, and then it happens at the end. Okay, great. So let's do ingredients first. Okay, so I have pepper, I have salt, I have a yellow onion, I have an egg or 2 eggs, depending on how much you're making. I have my zucchini, I have my carrot. This almost feels like a trade show. I have carrots for sale, zucchini for sale. Okay, that's a bad joke. We're moving along. I have a green onion for garnishing at the end. We're gonna come back to me in a bit, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. I have a grate which you'll need to prep the vegetables. I have flour, so I'm using almond flour. You can use whatever flour you need or whatever's on hand. I have oil, canola oil or sunflower oil is fine. Oil to fry in basically. And I have a bunch of bowls because you need a bunch of bowls to put everything together. Oh, I also have a cheesecloth, but you can also use paper towels. I feel like I'm just listing ingredients that aren't part of the recipe anymore. I'm like, oh yeah, I have a spatula you don't need, and I have a knife sharpener for you don't even need a knife. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be grating our vegetables first. So I'm gonna start with the carrots, and let me actually turn the camera down. Everybody stay cool, nothing's happening, it's weird, okay? I'm just pointing you towards the cutting board. All right. So what we're gonna be doing is taking a bowl and we're gonna be grating this carrot down until it's at a nub, basically. Because in order to make our patties, we need to make sure we're making them like smash patties, so they need to be finely grated vegetables that we're then going to mix with egg and onion. It's going to be really tasty. And yeah, this is what we like to call dead air, where nothing's really happening. There's nothing to talk about. But I'm going to get this down for a bit. Now, the ratio of onion to vegetables, and this is the same with potatoes, is usually 3 to 1, or 1 to 3. So for every 1 cup of onion, you have 3 cups of vegetables, potato or zucchini or whatever. Okay, that is enough carrot, I think. All right, nice. And now let's do our zucchini. Now you can do this in 2 different bowls if you want to separate them. I'm gonna do it in one because I'm lazy as hell. I'm just gonna say fuck, but then I'm like, I don't want to swear, but then I realized people have already been swearing, and so I went through a real roller coaster there. This is a great time to go to the bathroom or get a drink. Now I'm gonna be grating the zucchini down, equal parts zucchini and carrots. And I've honestly probably gotten too much here. So what we're going to be doing after this is we're going to be squeezing all the moisture out of these vegetables. So because you want to fry it, oil and water are enemies. If you've ever played Pokemon, you know that already, obviously. But oil and water are enemies. And we're going to get all the moisture out so we don't have to, experience a grease fire on our hands. Okay, that's our zucchini. Great. Okay, so now we're going to do the onion, yellow onion here. You can do white onion if you want. It's up to you. You're your own person, okay? I won't tell you what to do. And this is what I was talking about when I mentioned dead air. This is where just there's nothing important happening. Nothing's going on. People are tuning out. As far as pacing goes, maybe I shouldn't have been second to the show, right? Anyway. Naomi's parents, you guys ever make latkes?
You'll hear about that later.
I'll hear about it later. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. Get people to stay tuned in. That's smart. That's smart. You got to promise them something, you know? Okay. So that is 1/3 onion to 2/3 vegetables. Okay, so here's the kind of nasty part. So we're gonna have to squeeze the juice out of all this. And so I'm gonna take a cheesecloth. I'm gonna fill it with our mixture. Should be good. And I'm gonna try and take you over to the sink because unfortunately my kitchen is not all in one space. So this is gonna be interesting. I'm basically putting the mixture in the cheesecloth and I'm gonna squeeze the water out of it. Okay. All right, everybody stay calm. We're moving to the sink. Let's see if this will work. This is gonna be interesting. Okay. Let's move you.
Oh.
Woo!
I'm wet now. My chin is wet.
About anything that's ever happened in the show so far, I think, is moving to the sink. Okay. Can you see this orange sack? Pun intended. There's no pun there, but you get it. This orange sack. Okay, so I don't know if you can even see. Oh yeah, look at that. This is disgusting.
Ooh.
Yeah, it does not look great, but this is important because it makes the
Oh,
latkes.
yeah. Squeeze it.
People are getting turned on. Okay, not what I expected, honestly. You people need to rearrange your priorities. Everyone knows that the thing these days is step siblings. Okay, get your stuff back on track. Okay, that was a porn joke for our older crowd. All right, so I think that's good enough. I squeezed out a lot of juice. There's a pun in there somewhere. Okay, so let's come back to my disgusting.
Whoa.
Okay, everybody chill. Okay, and then we're gonna dump it out. We're gonna dump it out into this bowl, and you just saw me do the switch. Okay, it wasn't even okay. So I already did this beforehand, so I wanted to do it again. That's why this is going over here. The magic's ruined, so that's for you all at home, like to see the Hollywood behind the scenes stuff. Okay, so there's something special. This is just no moisture in these onion, carrot, zucchini mix. So what we're gonna do next is now we got our mixture right out. We're gonna add our spices. So I got some pepper. So add some pepper. And you can also add garlic and yeah, feel free to clear your throat as I'm going through this, by the way. Add some salt, not too much because the salt doesn't burn off in this recipe. So don't add a lot. Like you think, sometimes you add more than you think is enough because that's what the recipe says, but just add the exact amount you want. And that's our vegetable mixture. So we're gonna put that aside. Now let's grab another bowl. That's right, you have so many bowls because you need them. And we're gonna grab our egg and we're gonna crack it and we're gonna mix it with some flour. Here's my flour. So a little bit of flour, it really goes a long way actually towards like making the mixture like stick together when you fry it. Oh, I'm supposed to start heating up the pan right now. Okay, so I'm mixing the flour and egg mixture to make like an egg mix that we're gonna mix with the vegetables. So I'll do that. I'm gonna turn the skillet on. We're gonna be switching one more time. So everybody, get your barf bags ready. This is one of the most disgusting cooking demonstrations I think anyone's ever seen. I was like showing you the carrot juice leaking out. I've said the word barf bag. Not what you want to say when you do a cooking demonstration is saying the word barf bag. Okay. So we've got our vegetable mixture, salt and peppered. We've got our egg mixture. Now we're gonna put it all together. Okay. I should probably show the camera what's happening, right? Okay, there we go.
Ooh.
As you can tell, this is my first time. Yeah, thank you for clearing your throat audibly during the cooking demonstration. Okay, that looks good. All right. So we're gonna mix this all together. The egg and the flour is what holds the vegetables together. The moisture, lack of moisture is what lets it fry. Mixing this, and we're gonna make like smash patties basically. You ever been to Smash Burger or had a regular hamburger? Most of them are smashed these days. We're gonna make patties out of this. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna move our last time over to the stove, okay? So everybody be cool. Okay, yes. A lot of noise.
Oh, man. Oh, no. No.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna see if I can show you a better view once I start getting things frying. But this is my, here, I'll just do this. Screw it. Okay, so here's my skillet, and I have about a small layer, a baby pool's worth of oil in there because you're gonna need to fry these. So you're not gonna use a little bit, you're gonna use a lot. And what I'm gonna be doing, it's me again, hi. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be making smash patties out of this, putting, not crowding the pan once it's hot, but I'm gonna be putting patties in, frying them, and then, turn them over once.
Max, 2 minutes remain in the Iron Star of David kitchen.
Thank you too. Thank you. Okay. Let's see how I want to do this. Let's see if the oil is hot. Well, we'll just find out, won't we? Okay. Let's see if I can do this while I'm. Okay. So can everyone see? Okay, you can see this. All right. This is it. Okay. So I'm gonna make a small patty with my fork like this. Okay. Great. I'm gonna put it in the oil, and then once it's in, as soon as it gets in, you're gonna smash it like this.
Ooh.
And it'll be louder once it heats up. I should have heated up earlier, but you'll see it starts sizzling. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see. Okay. And I'm just gonna start making 2 per pan because I want to give them room. I don't have to make them very big. Now, oh, there we go. Okay, so how you know they are ready to turn over? So they'll be ready to turn over when the bottom. Okay, great. So if you put your oil on too hot, you will burn them. Like, for example, this one I did earlier over here where I can see the edges kind of started to, fade away into the sunset. So I'm going to want to wait on these. I'll turn them over around 3 to 4 minutes when they're browned. And when I get back, because we're going to have a check-in in like 20 minutes or so, I'll let you know what's better, applesauce or sour cream. There is an endless debate in the community, and I will give you an answer. So I will cook these, and I'll come back, and we'll see how they turn out. Someone told me to mix them. I don't know what's going on. Oh, this is Max OnlyFans? Oh, no, it's not. I want to see my OnlyFans. It is. How much time do I have?
That's it.
Okay, great. I'll be back. Thanks, guys.
Woo! Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
There was a little part there we couldn't hear. We'll never know what the secret is to a perfect latke.
Yep.
But I think it's not too hot oil. We can talk to Max later and figure it out. If you're enjoying his segment, you might also like his Instagram live show, Friends and Neighbors. You can find him there as @Kerwien, his last name. And since Max is doing some cooking, I wanted to show some other traditional Hanukkah foods. I'm pretty sure Max can't eat any of these because of his bad digestion. But here's some guilt. It is chocolate coins. You can use it apparently to purchase special features on Max's OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Here's some latkes. Max is showing the zucchini kind, but here, if computer vision cooperates enough, is the potato boxed variety. And there's a lot of frying in Hanukkah, so you also have jelly donuts or sufganiyot.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Not a very healthy holiday.
Not healthy.
But I can't wait in a little bit to see the final product of Max's frying. And as you wait in anticipation, if you're enjoying the show at home, please consider tipping the performers using the tip jar information in the Facebook event description or chat. It's a weird time for performers right now, so your support is appreciated. And we'll go ahead and bring up the next performer who's coming to the virtual stage. She's a prolific Salem-based comedian who runs Truth or Dare Live and is currently producing a Hanukkah-themed podcast episode per night of Hanukkah. So we're excited to have her on. She's in the Hanukkah spirit. Please give a warm welcome to Emma Jonas.
Hi, happy Hanukkah, everybody. I am so hungry now. And how dare you, first of all? Also, how do you make latkes so quickly? Because every time I do it, it takes me at least 6 hours to get the first one in the pan. So maybe it's because I do use potatoes. I don't know. I really can only think about food right now. I should start my timer. Okay, great. So, listen up, folks. I hope you came here to learn because that's what's about to happen, my friends. No joke. I'm gonna break it down for you. You're gonna learn the story of Hanukkah as I remember it from not looking it up for about at least a year. So good luck to me, because I smoke a lot of weed. Okay, here we go. I do have a visual aid that is loading, and I'm sure it will work perfectly fine. Here it goes. Here it comes. Get ready. Open up your brain. I'm going to pour in the knowledge juice. Okay, there we go. Welcome to the story of Hanukkah by me, Emma Jonas. The source is my brain, as we covered. Okay, so here's how it goes down, folks. Once upon a time, the Jews were kicking it in Jerusalem in the 2nd century BC. I will admit, I looked up when it happened. Okay, first, I lied earlier. I did look up something, but that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I looked up. The Jews were doing, their typical chilling out, reading the Torah, drinking the Manischewitz, rocking some payas, all the usual things that Jews do today, every day. We love it all the time. The king, who was, their like boss, that was King Antiochus, but he was cool. He was chill. He was fine with the Jews doing all their fun Jew stuff, hanging out with their Torahs and talking smack about God or whatever. King Antiochus the Chill was his name. And yeah, generally everything pretty fucking chill. It was all good. Can I swear?
Yeah.
Because I just did. Okay, great. Yeah, I do also feel the need to include the fact that I did think that it was Agamemnon for the majority of the time that I was making this presentation. That is not the same dude. So if you were thinking it's Agamemnon, then same boat, my friend. I know how it goes. Okay. So then the Greeks, Antiochus was a Greek and or Syrian. They were both kind of in there mingling, mixing up. They were also there. They decided to come on in and ruin everything, as people are wont to do when the Jews are just trying to chill. So King Antiochus the Chill, unfortunately, he died, and his son King Antiochus the Absolutely No Chill took power. He became the emperor of everything. Apparently, wow. So that spelled grave misfortune for our fine Jewish folks. Yeah, honestly, like the Jews were just trying to like be themselves and like self-actualize, and so it was very rude that the Greeks and Syrians suddenly decided that the Jews shouldn't get to just eat their matzah and smoke that sweet, sweet desert weed, because they were just very insecure that people didn't want to believe in their weird rapey gods. They were like, no, this is our belief system, and we feel threatened by people who want a belief system that doesn't tell you that, it's totally cool that God can turn into a bull and like rape a lady, and that's, everyone has to be okay with it, because otherwise we don't feel okay about ourselves. Like, that's what was going on. They were like projecting a lot of self-consciousness and anxiety, and it was very unfair. Okay, moving on. So, King Antiochus, he sent his soldiers out to destroy all the Jews, which was very rude, incredibly rude, in fact. Also, I think it was Antiochus the Fourth. I want to say, possibly the fifth, not the second. I was also wrong, but I have to admit my mistakes. So the Jews, a lot of them are going into hiding. They pretend to be Greek because they don't want to be killed. So they're like hiding, Jew magazine and the Greek magazine, or I mean the Torah, so it looks like a classic math class when you just want to read your manga, but you're in math class, so you put it in a textbook. They were doing that with the Torah. But nonetheless, the Greeks and Syrians they're causing a ruckus. They're going around fucking up people's homesteads and probably just killing the cows, desert cows, eating all the dreidels. Classic dick move. By the way, I just want everyone to remember this is 200 years before there's any kind of Jesus. Just think about it. Pretty weird, right? Okay. Check it out. Whoa, twist. Jews also they could hold it down. You know what I'm saying? They too can fuck the shit up when it's necessary. They at some point adopted the moniker of Maccabees. Maybe they already were. Who are we all not Maccabees at all times? Is my question. I don't know. Is the answer. Means hammer. Maccabee means hammer. That part, pretty sure about. Pretty sure. Did you guys see this movie, The Hebrew Hammer? Because I recently rewatched it. Pretty fun. Pretty good time. Check it out. Now I'm wondering, is that a little nod to, if you're in the know, Maccabee means hammer, so he's the Hebrew hammer, so he's like, okay, whatever. So the Greeks / Syrians, the big rapey asshole guys, they were attacking or had really messed up the big synagogue in Jerusalem, the big one, the one I mean, the large one, and the Jews were no longer having it, so they decided they were going to fuck up these guys. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but this guy is Greek and he's got nipples on his armor, which honestly, that is just, I mean, you're showboating at that point, okay? Everyone knows you have nipples under there. We don't need to accentuate them. Okay. Anyway, the Jews needed a leader. They needed somebody who was in charge, somebody strong yet sensitive. They needed somebody sexy yet sophisticated. Who were they going to call? Ghostbusters? No, this is way before the Ghostbusters. But you might have heard of this fella that they did find to lead them into battle, into victory. Yeah, you know who I mean. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about. Whoop bam! It's Judah the Maccabee. Spin, yeah.
Woo.
Found a hammer with arms and legs, wielding a hammer just for this. It's a metaphor. Okay. There were also other people involved. They were, working really hard. It wasn't all just this guy, Judah the Maccabee, but as often happens, history has forgotten many of their names, and I also have forgotten all of their names. But maybe one of them was Hannah, that's a Jewish name. Okay. So Judah's doing great. He's telling, hey, you go over there, you kill that guy, and then we'll get these guys, and you block this door, and they won't get inside. And they were really doing a great job battling, very talented, very strong, excellent work, A+, lots of medals, probably. I mean, why not, right? Okay. Anyway, they scared him. They scared off the baddies. They sent him away, or they probably just killed them, because that's how it went down. Okay, that was all scientifically accurate. Okay, then it was time to celebrate, of course, because they had reached victory. It's a very exciting time. The Jews got their beautiful little lady synagogue back. They were partying in Jerusalem. They were very excited. They rededicated it as a place of Jewish worship, no longer a place to worship all the freaky, nasty Greek gods, but no, this is a Jewish place of worship, so check it out. Hanukkah translates to rededication. I remembered that. Hell yeah. Okay. So the Jews partying, praying, doing, whatever they're doing, dreidling, eating money, chocolate, or otherwise, not sure. Don't know why we do that exactly, but all for it, definitely. So then, it starts getting dark. they gotta light the lamp. They gotta light the party lamp. But uh-oh, there was only a little bit of oil, so that's a bummer, right? You know when you want to light your oil lamp for a while, but then there's only a little bit of oil. That is just a tragedy. But wait, well, they lit it anyway, and it turns out that oil lasted for 8 crazy nights. What? Oh wow, God was in the house. You know what I'm saying? It was a gosh darn miracle is what I'm trying to tell you. It was incredible, folks. You wouldn't believe your eyes, but they did. That's it was so chill. Back to being chill. Back to having a good old time. That's yeah, they did. They busted out some dreidels. Yeah, they did some dancing. They hoisted people. Jews, we love hoisting. We love a good hoist. Had some chocolate and or regular money as I covered. Still unclear. They're high fiving. They're slapping butt. They're doing. Everyone's feeling real good. They got this magic lamp happening. So that's the story of Hanukkah. That's why we do everything that we do every year. Um, we eat fried food because of oil, as has been covered. I'm gonna make some latkes myself, probably tomorrow. We light up those candles, baby. I lit mine. Nice. I put them in my window. I feel great. We party down. We as discussed. We play the games. We do the dance. We hoist. By the way, Naomi or someone mentioned, David was mentioning getting weird comments from people. I remember comments when I was a child, Hanukkah is just like Jewish Christmas, right? But no, motherfuckers, Hanukkah is not Jewish Christmas. Thank you very much. If anything, okay, Christmas is Christian Hanukkah.
Woo!
You know what I'm talking about?
Woo!
Jesus. Amen. Jonas out. Story of Hanukkah. Mazel tov.
Woo! Amazing.
Oh yeah.
I like
What
it.
a energetic rendition of the story of Hanukkah, inspired.
All
She
true.
wasn't afraid to call out the weirdness of Greek
Mhm.
mythology. And I think you came up with the best Torah nickname, the Jew Magazine.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If that's my legacy, I am happy.
So beautiful. I have a modern analogy. Emma highlighted the miracle, but here's a modern analog for you.
I love it. I love that. So true.
Posted by my high school Spanish teacher on Facebook today.
Wow,
She's
thank you.
not Jewish, but a friend of the Jews.
Hey.
Appreciate an ally.
Woo! Oh man, that was beautiful. Thank you so much, Emma.
Thank you.
For the next segment, I wanted to actually mix things up and bring on some non-Jews to play dreidel, a traditional Hanukkah game, for the very first time. First time playing dreidel.
Crazy.
So my friends from the Majestic Theater's House Improv Troupe, Suggestions Only, are graciously agreeing to join in and play dreidel. Please welcome to the virtual stage Suggestions Only, playing dreidel for the first time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Woo!
Excited to be here. Excited to mess up pronouncing Yiddish insults to my competition.
Naomi, what is a dreidel? Like I don't even know what it is.
Oh, good question. So this is kind of like the Jew magazine from Emma's story. While studying in secret, allegedly there's this top that the Jews would play with to pretend they weren't studying Torah when the guards came to scope out their plot. So it's apparently descended from that. This has the quality of Emma's ad hoc recalling. This is what I was told in Hebrew school. And the letters on each side mean something. It's related to the miracle of the burning oil and the victory of the Maccabees. in the US or other parts of the world other than Israel, it's Nun, Gimel, Hey, and Shin, the Hebrew letters, which stands for Nes Gadol Haya Sham, a great miracle happened there. And in Israel, the last letter is different. It's Nes Gadol Haya Po, for a great miracle happened here.
It's true.
Wow.
Very good.
I feel so enlightened. Thank you so much for answering.
But the real fun is possibly playing dreidel.
And you couldn't find a man on J-Swipe?
Thanks for rubbing it in, Mike. Thanks.
Not enough for watching.
I went ahead and did it. I did it.
You did nothing.
None is bad. Bad.
Player 1 is
all right.
Sarah. Jason, player 2.
Here we go.
You get.
Come on. Oh, it's broken.
And then squared.
Bad. You want Gimel. Gimmel's good.
I'm totally gonna rock this.
Gotta get Gimel.
Oh,
Shin.
Oh,
Good
no.
one.
Okay. Luck is on my side. Here we go.
Gimel.
No!
Fun.
We were kind of lucky ones there, though.
The inexperience is showing.
Oh,
wow.
Two
Okay.
Yelp?
Just take that. That's okay.
But I'm down to 3 now.
None.
No!
None. Oh.
One day. It's okay.
All right. Here we go. Yeah!
Oh, no!
They don't call me Dr. Dreidel for nothing.
That's good.
I feel like I'm gonna lose this right now.
Good. Lean into that feeling.
No.
Come on, you got this.
No.
Shin, Shin.
Oh no!
All right, here we go. Spin this top.
This is to stay in the running.
Do or die.
Oh yeah, kind of.
None.
Oh no!
Because it's the end of the round, everybody's gonna have to win.
Well,
Oh
would
no!
you look at that?
Bupkis, no!
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that.
That was the fastest virtual dreidel game I've ever seen.
Feel like the gelt is raining on my face.
Okay.
So Jason is the prime victor. I think it might be worth another round though. That was so stunningly fast.
I think that was just a warm-up round.
Warm-up
Now that
round.
I got my fingers.
Oh, I brought it.
That first
Yeah.
round was none of your business.
Ah.
That was a joke.
We need to give Ori a chance to do more Yiddish insults. That was excellent.
Yeah.
We could play like strip dreidel.
Ooh. Oh, I have for that. Yeah, you're acting like a Nazca.
I don't think we have the rating for that. We can only do PG-13.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Right off the bat.
That's okay. We can come back from this.
All right. Yep.
It's only the first round.
Here we go. Oh, I just wish there's like haptic feedback so I could really feel the dreidel. Oh, none. Playing dreidel is so much fun.
That rhymes.
All right, we just can't let Jason win again.
Yeah.
What?
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. T.
All right.
Okay.
I'm feeling confident.
That's fine. I don't feel threatened. It's okay.
Here we go. Gimel. No!
Uh-oh.
I regret being player 4. I'm such a pisher.
Wow.
Oh shit! It's broken. It glitched out.
Look at that. Look at that. Trying to. Mama needs a new pair of shoes. No.
None. Yeah. You are barren.
Daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
Oh no.
That's what you
Sort
get.
of like
Worse
a.
and nothing happened.
Yeah, that's what you get, you stick dreck.
All right, we're still doing good. Still doing all right. Spin.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I'm rooting for Sarah.
I feel
Hey.
I'm rooting
nothing's
for
better
a crashed desktop.
than bad.
no.
None.
Whew. Even playing field. All right. Oh man, I forget that we put two
Uh-oh.
in. No. Dwindling. Oh, I feel threatened.
You could
What
win by
happens if
default.
everybody loses?
Yeah. True.
Then
I'm okay with
Hanukkah Harry wins by default.
Oh.
Who's Hannukah-themed?
Made up.
Not in the cards. Not in the
Hanukkah
cards.
Harry.
No.
I think you're out.
Oh.
All right.
Spit on your hand for luck.
Oh, you said that afterwards. Oh, hey.
Oh, finally, somebody.
Hey.
All right. I feel comfortable with that.
First hey
Wow.
of the night.
That was a big load.
Dreidel. Please.
Oh, Chen ain't gonna win.
Mike wins. Oh man.
GG.
This is the opening screen to J-Swipe.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, we're all just a bunch of schlumps.
20.
Yay.
Mazel tov, Mike.
Mazel tov, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
That was super fun. We should play
Having
Dreidel all year long.
suggestions only improv.
You guys are all so much more pro dreidel than any Jewish child.
No, we like Dreidel. We play
We like
Dreidel.
it.
Usually it takes like hours to play.
Mm-hmm.
It might help if you sing the song when you're playing.
That's true.
What? I could have won
That's
twice
true.
in a row.
There are songs?
Yes.
They're more
Yeah.
like incantations.
Yeah, you can even spin around like a dance, and you can be the dreidel and spin around.
I was totally on board of doing the blessings at the beginning when you were lighting the menorah, but I really thought you were going to do like the translated version. I did not.
We are waiting for English subs.
It's okay. There's some dreidel songs in English and some in Hebrew. That's a good point. Yeah. We'll practice them later with my mom.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Thanks everybody for joining. Any
Bye.
sports
Thank you.
post dreidel
Thank
rundown? It seems like you're pro dreidel. Everybody's excited about dreidel playing.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that was very impressive. Seems like the virtual dreidel randomization is somewhat fair too. You can all play virtual dreidel with your friends. Let's hear it one more time for suggestions only for braving dreidel.
Woo! Dreidel to the cradle.
First time ever. Their next show is coming up February 19th right here on the virtual Majestic Theater stage, so come check them out. And a reminder, if you're enjoying the show, please consider tipping the performers. You can use the information in the Facebook stream chat. Now, I mentioned in the opening set that my mother converted to Judaism, but I have a very classic, quintessential Jewish father. He's a professional musician with the Dayton Philharmonic. Yay for them. But tonight he's here to read us a Hanukkah storybook. So So I want everyone to give a warm welcome to Todd Fitter.
Woo! I take my yarmulke off.
You can wear your yarmulke.
Got my blue light glasses on. Take them off. I learned a lot of Jewish words today, so that was cool. New Jewish words I didn't know. And first of all, I'd like to say that tonight the FDA approved the Pfizer vaccine. So I think we should all clap for the scientists who made that happen. So comedians and musicians like myself can get back to playing concerts because I want to play concerts.
Yeah.
And if I want to tell one story, since this is a Hanukkah show, because this maybe is responsible for Naomi being here, but when I grew up in New York, everybody on my street was Jewish, everybody across the street was Jewish, everybody in Brooklyn was Jewish. And when I got to Cincinnati to go to music school here, I found out that the rest of the country was not Jewish, because I thought the whole country of the United States was Jewish and everyone was Jewish. So that was a rude awakening I had. And I met a girl named Sharon, who I started to go out with, but she didn't know I was Jewish. And I think it was around Passover, which is another Jewish holiday. And we found a box of matzah at her house, and we were eating the matzah, and she said to me, "Do you know what matzah is?" And I went, "Yes." She said, "Are you Jewish?" And I went, "Yes," because I was scared to tell her I was Jewish because I didn't know if she would keep going out with me. And I said, "Will you keep going out with me?" And she said, "Yes." So that was a successful story, right, Sharon? That's why Naomi is still here. Okay, now getting back to the books. When the kids were little, I read them books. I always like to get stories out. And we have this book here about Turn for Noah.
Oh, that's the dreidel book.
It's a dreidel book. Yeah, it's a dreidel book. And we have Sammy Spider, which the kids really like. So that's the one I'm going to read. And this one was written by Sylvia A. Rouse, illustrated by Catherine Jonas Kahn. Let's hear it for women.
Yeah.
Yeah, women.
We're soon going to have a woman vice president. Hopefully soon a woman president.
Yeah.
Bring it on, baby. I'm ready. Okay, here comes the book. I'm going to sit sideways. This is a book of colors and numbers. So you can learn about colors and numbers. Sammy Spider shivered in his web, high up on the Shapiro's living room ceiling. Now, if I saw Sammy Spider, I would get him exterminated and killed. Because I don't like spiders. So it's lucky he's not in my house. I don't like insects. Look, mother, he called, what is Mrs. Shapiro lighting? That's a menorah, answered Mrs. Spider. The Shapiros are celebrating Hanukkah. They will light one more candle for every night for 8 nights. It's beautiful, said Sammy as he lowered himself on a strand of webbing to take a closer look. Be careful, warned Mrs. Spider. Don't get too close. I don't like spiders. It's the first night of Hanukkah. Sammy stopped right above the shamash, the helper candle that Mrs. Shapiro had used to light the first candle. That's the candle you hold to light all the candles. Mother, the flame feels so good on my cold feet, Sammy said. Mr. Shapiro reached into his pocket and handed Josh a bright blue dreidel. That's the color blue. Learn about colors. Tonight we did 2 candles. Last night was 1. Sammy hovered above the flame and listened as Mr. Shapiro told Josh the story of the Maccabees. We've already learned about them. And the miracle of the oil. The smell of frying potato latkes filled the room. There are the latkes.
Oh, just like tonight's show.
That's correct. Now, when I cook latkes at my house, they fall apart, start to burn, and then the fire extinguisher, the fire alarm comes on, and that's a different story. It's very interesting. Josh gave the dreidel a spin and squealed with delight. It was spinning so fast that Sammy felt a little dizzy watching from above. Just spinning the dreidel like you guys did. When the candles had melted and the flame flickered out, the Shapiros announced bedtime and took Josh upstairs. It's your bedtime too, Sammy, called Mrs. Spider. Sammy climbed the strand of silk webbing and crawled into a cozy corner. Mrs. Spider gently tucked them in. Mother asked Sammy, do you think I could have a blue dreidel to spin? Silly little Sammy, his mother laughed. Spiders don't spin dreidels, spiders spin webs. On the second night of Hanukkah, Sammy watched expectantly as Mrs. Shapiro helped Josh light 2 candles. There's 2 candles, 1, 2. His feet were cold and wanted to warm them near the flame again. Tonight, Mrs. Shapiro gave Josh a bright red candle. Now he had 2 to spin. There's the red dreidel. Everyone sang Hanukkah songs and ate donuts filled with sweet red cherry filling. The spinning dreidels made Sammy even dizzier. I get dizzy on a merry-go-round. I don't like rides. That night, when Miss Spider tucked Sammy into a soft web, he asked, Mother, do you think I could have a red dreidel to spin? Still little Sammy's mother answered, spiders don't spin dreidels, spiders spin webs. On the third night, Sammy once again warmed his feet above the menorah and watched the Shapiros use the shaman to light 3 candles. They gave Josh a yellow dreidel. Now he had 3 dreidels to spin. This kid is spoiled rotten. And the dreidels twisted and twirled across the floor until the red one dropped, then the blue one, at last the yellow. Mother, could I have a yellow dreidel to spin, Sammy asked at bedtime. Silly little Sammy, she said, spiders don't spin dreidels. Spiders spin webs. Each night, Sammy watched from his warm perch above the shamish. On the 4th night, the spirits lit 4 candles, gave him a green dreidel. On the 5th night, they gave him a purple dreidel. The 6th night, they gave him an orange dreidel. This kid's really spoiled. I have problems. On the 7th night, they lit 7 candles, and Josh got a rose-colored dreidel. Sammy had to raise himself a little higher on his web because his feet were getting hot. Here's what menorah looks like when it's all lit up. On the 8th night, Sammy felt sad as he watched Shapiro's light all 8 candles and give Josh a round wooden dreidel. I'm going to miss Hanukkah, he thought. I won't smell the delicious latkes. I won't hear any Hanukkah songs. I won't be able to watch Josh spin all his colorful dreidels. And how will I warm my feet? If only I could have just one more dreidel, he thought, as the 8 dreidels danced merrily across the floor. What fun I would have. Then he remembered his mother's words. You guys know it. Spiders don't spin dreidels. Sammy, spiders spin webs.
Yep.
But when the last candle flickered out and Sammy climbed reluctantly up the web to his bed, his mother smiled, handed him a gift, and said, Happy Hanukkah, Sammy. Sammy opened the package and found 8 little socks, one for each night of Hanukkah, and one for each of his 8 little feet. Each sock was a different color, and in each one, Mrs. Spider had spun a little dreidel. Sammy pulled on his new socks. There was a blue, a red, yellow, a green, the orange, purple, rose-colored, and a brown one. He slid happily down the silky strand and began to spin faster and faster. Look, Mother, he shouted, I'm spinning my dreidels, all 8 of them. That's so beautiful. What a beautiful book. That's the Sammy Spider. There's one for each Jewish holiday, too. We have one. That's it.
Woo.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Yay. My dad.
Glass is back on.
That's my dad, everybody. A little slice of my childhood.
Woo.
David asked during the set if the show will be available later on, if it'll be recorded and posted online, which I assume means David's going to replay that set before bed tonight. My dad will be his bedtime story.
I need more Todd in my life.
We get along very well as long as we're not in the same state. So
That's very true.
This works great. This is another holiday Hanukkah-ish shirt I liked. I almost bought it, but I realized the hands would be right on my chest region in a weird way that wouldn't look great.
Yeah.
But it's great. Someday they'll redesign it slightly better. But it's been a while since we saw what Max was up to. So before we wrap up the show, I think we should check in with him and see how his luck has turned out. Here's Max for the recap.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. So apparently my sound went out towards the end there, which I was not aware of, because I was busy getting covered in oil. But the point is, you fry them. You fry them until they're done, and that's kind of how that works. I also noticed that the comment section kind of went off during my cooking, so I wanted to respond to a couple of the comments directly that I was reading. Okay, this first one, is that his real hair? Yes, that's my real hair.
Woo!
Second one, there's no way this guy has an OnlyFans. Okay, that's a little presumptuous, I think. Let's see. Okay, this one says if he needs more cooking oil, he should get some off his forehead. Wow. All right. But still. And this last one says his kitchen is like a commercial for Trader Joe's. Okay. Let's show the latkes, shall we? Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but they actually turned it out pretty well. They're actually not terrible. Look at that
Ooh.
latke.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, super
Really
tasty. And I'm not showing you the burnt side. Thank you for the applause. And I also want to finally reveal what's better, sour cream or applesauce. And here we go, the reveal. 3, 2, 1. It's applesauce. It's always been always will be applesauce. Don't even come out with sour cream. So I'm gonna plate this real quick since I don't have a lot of time. I should probably show you what's happening, right? So I also chopped up some green onions to garnish, and I added some applesauce. So let's sprinkle green onions on this. And here is the finished product. Not too bad. And the last thing I'll say is, if you want to go crazy, really crazy, skip applesauce, skip sour cream, put salsa.
What?
I don't care. Cancel me. I don't even care. Okay, put salsa in your latkes. That's all I want to say. I'm gonna eat these now. Thank you guys so much. Back to you, Naomi.
Woo!
I wanted an action shot.
Okay, fine. All right. It'll be real quick.
Yeah, I kind of want to eat it through the computer. I don't know
me
if we
too.
can do that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have all my belts.
Woo!
Really good.
So hungry.
Thank you.
Amazing. Max Kerwien, everybody, with latkes. Tasty latkes. I hope everybody has a latke plan. Usually at your local supermarket in the kosher section, you can get some boxed Manshevitz latke mix. Trader Joe's, speaking of Max's Kitchen and Trader Joe's, has some pretty good frozen ones if you're like me or my dad or many others who can't cook latkes very well.
Fred
I know-
Meyer has matzah meal too. It took me forever to find it.
Oh, excellent. So many options. That would be Ralph's or Kroger, depending on your region. They own all the stores, so maybe we'll have luck finding matzah meal in your Kroger Monopoly store. But we've got even more talent coming to the virtual stage. By the way, this is in honor of Max. I love Hanukkah, a latke.
Latka.
But more talent is coming up. Our Hanukkah headliner is a stand-up comedian who writes for Savage Henry magazine. He co-founded Eugene's Just Comedy, and you might even recognize him from the documentaries I Am Road Comic and Harmontown. Here's Seth Milstein.
All right, so I'm the only one who actually tried to grow an Orthodox beard for this. You make plans with people and they just disappoint you. I see how it is. I didn't even think about this possibly being a clean show, so I just have my regular material, which is basically just a lot of sex jokes and drug jokes. So I hope that everybody's parents can be cool with that. I once turned down sex because I was triggered by the way that the person kept their pubic hair. I don't think a Hitler mustache on your genitalia is appropriate, and I don't think you should do that. Like, I'm supposed to stare into the face of the darkest moment in my people's history while I'm trying to make you come? No, thank you. I'm divorced. I've been divorced for 4 years now, and I think I finally know what Aerosmith songs are about. I think that's all they write about at this point. Let's see. My sister had a baby last year. I should probably call her. I have a 13-year-old son, and therefore he's critical of everything I do. This past 4th of July, I was lighting a sparkler, and my son looked at me in full disgust, rolled his eyes, and said, "That's the way you light a sparkler?" I was like, dude, I used to light mortars off the Brooklyn Bridge with my friends and then run through the streets of Manhattan from cops. And now I'm just lighting fucking sparklers with your ass. And yeah, just at this point, there's no way to look cool lighting a sparkler. That's not a possibility. Wow, they say comedy is like riding a bike. You never forget how to do it, but this really isn't like any bicycle I've ever ridden. You know, it's like someone just handed me 2 unicycles and said, "Go for it." I've been gaining a bunch of weight during during quarantine, and by gaining weight, I've been hitting new lows. My newest low that I hit is that I Grubhubbed Wendy's. That's like a new low for me. I don't know if you've ever paid an extra $10 to someone to have them deliver diarrhea to you, but it's a thing that happened in my life. Yeah, I used to always like think that I was fat and I was just out of shape, and now I think I'm officially cresting the fat. My brother used to call me the body dysmorphin Power Ranger. And if you're wondering what color I was, I looked gold, but then I was chocolate on the inside. It's been really weird the past couple of months. Like I've had a lot of weird experiences due to quarantine and COVID and stuff. I recently went to the Chinese restaurant that I like to go to a lot, and the owner took my order, and it was like at the beginning of quarantine, and everything was like really crazy, and a lot of small businesses didn't know what was going to happen, and I went in to pick up my order, and he looked at me really weird, and he just goes, "We deliver now, and due to the goddamn coronavirus, delivery is free." And I was like, "Okay, man, just calm down. Everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it." Yeah, it's been so weird. We decided to just have like adding to a pandemic and a quarantine. We just decided to have rioting in the streets. I don't know. I'm really confused. I just saw a billboard for Back the Blue, and like that they had to switch slogans for Back the Blue because at first it was Blue Lives Matter, but then they realized they were contradicting their original slogan of All Lives Matter. So then they went with Back the Blue, and I have to imagine that this is a very confusing time to be a Crip. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of feel like we're sliding into an apocalypse at this point, because all of this stuff is going on right now. But remember that whole thing about how we're running out of water for a population our size? I've been looking around at my life, and I don't think that I picked the right group of friends to survive an apocalypse, because all of my friends are bartenders and musicians, and I'm exclusively hanging out with farmers and blacksmiths from this point on. I just feel like most of my musician friends should probably sell their guitars and buy water filters. Coming along with that, we're going to have to start making uncomfortable decisions about who we want to have in our lives. And I've been like looking around in the world and deciding who I think I need to just like never associate with. And I think number one on my list is guys who put huge sound systems on their motorcycles. I think that's like a big no-no for me. I recently was behind a guy with a very loud motorcycle, and I was like, his motorcycle kind of sounds like a Disturbed song right now. And then we stopped at a stoplight, and sure enough, it was a Disturbed sign, or it was a Disturbed song. And it's always people with loud motorcycles that decide to put badass stereo systems on their motorcycles. It's never like a couple wearing a matching jumpsuit with an electric motorcycle cruising down the street, playing the Beach Boys and waving at everybody, making everyone's life happier. It's always some like guy in a bowling shirt with playing Disturbed, and they can't hear their music on the motorcycle. I know that that's a fact because I couldn't hear it until they were idling. So I have to imagine that at one point they had like a really weird conversation with their friend where they were like, yeah, I got speakers installed on my bike. What? No, I can't hear it at all, but I know it's playing Disturbed because I pressed play on Disturbed when I turned it on. And yeah, I could use earbuds, but then people at stoplights wouldn't know that I'm still rocking out. Plus, I got a new bowling shirt that I want to show off to everybody. I downloaded the entire album and I play it through Bluetooth on my phone, and it just works. And yeah, then it's just me and the open road all the way to Costco and back. Oh yeah, it's my third trip to Costco. I'm aware that the motorcycle is not the best conveyance for bulk goods, but Denise had the truck, so I figured I'd just do it this way. Yeah, I don't want to share water with that guy in the future. Let's get that guy out of the picture. I'm just like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, my phone is basically my only communication with the outside world. So I've just been on my phone constantly, which annoys the shit out of me because it's not the coolest way to interact with people. Like y'all know that it sends me an entire notification on my phone when you send a react to one of my texts. Like, you're gonna make me take my phone out of my pocket just to see that you thumbs up, I'll see you there. Like, what if I was driving? You're a monster. That's a horrible thing to do. The other day, my breath woke me up. Do you know how much disappointment that you have to eat for your breath to be that bad? It's a lot. It's quite a bit of disappointment. I think that's one more thing. This is the dumbest joke. I'm almost out of jokes because I don't get to do comedy anymore. The other day, I came so hard that both of my fucking contacts popped out of my eyes, which is something that I would expect from my regular contacts, but not my fucking contacts. Anyway, that's all the stuff I have for you. This has been a fun time.
Woo! Let's hear it one more time. Seth Milstein. I emojied to one of his messages yesterday, and now I feel very bad. I hope you weren't driving. Thanks so much, Seth, and thanks to all the other performers again. David, Max, Emma, Suggestions Only, and my dad. Thanks for gracing the virtual stage with your presence.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay.
We're at it. We're at Majestic Theater for having us, and to the live studio audience members for joining in, and to all of you out there on the internet watching. If you enjoyed the show, please consider tipping the performers using the tip jar information in the Facebook event or the chat going on next to this Facebook video. This has been Hanukkah, a festival of laughs, and I've been Naomi Fitter. Have a wonderful night and happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.